Okay, everybody, welcome to Live at 5 at Solomon Blumen. Today is another Friday, and we are so lucky that we are virtually traveling, virtually flying all the way from Hong Kong to Scotland. And in Scotland, joining us is Florist of the Year of the UK, Karen Lindsay. Hey,
Hello.
hello.
Hi.
So, how are you, Lindsay?
I am very good. How are you this morning?
Karen, sorry.
Oh, that's all right. That's okay, Betty.
Yeah, all right. I'm doing pretty well. And yourself? How's Scotland today?
Yes, it's not bad. We've got a nice sunny day this morning. Nice to get up nice and early. Put a bit of makeup on for you, Solomon, this morning. I'm normally not normally just rushing around. So yeah, it's a lovely morning, nice and bright.
Fantastic. I see that you're actually hugging a pumpkin. You're gonna do some demonstration for us now, right?
I am. I was telling you just before we went live that in Kilmarnock, I don't know if there's anywhere else in the world actually, we celebrate Killyween instead of Halloween. Halloween being the 31st of the month, we do it on the last Friday. So next weekend is our Halloween because years gone by, that was payday for everybody and the kids got a really good Halloween because people could buy more sweets. And so yes, we celebrate Killyween on the last Friday of the month. So it's quite a big deal here. Maybe not so much this year because obviously with social distancing and
But obviously, you can do your sort of like spice up your own home with a lot of Halloween decoration, right?
yes. Yep. Oh well, I've got 5 kids, so I've got usually I'm enjoying this year because I don't have to go crazy with outfits. But we're having 5 kids and they like a homemade outfit, so it's usually quite a lot of pressure. So I'm enjoying not having to do that this year. We're just going to wear a mask, which we're doing every day anyway.
That's actually quite true. So I noticed that that there is this current trend about Halloween around the world. It's all about like painted pumpkin, like spray pumpkin,
Yeah.
and kind of having different colored ones. And I see that you are actually preparing one rather special for us.
Yes, I've done a nice rose gold pumpkin. So I've just carved it out last night. I've lined it with Oasis. I've lined it with cellophane, sorry, and I've got the insert from a hat box inside just to save the water because obviously it will start to go soft after time. So the foam and the water's not touching the inside of the pumpkin. And we've sprayed it a lovely rose gold colour. I've taken the lid off and then I've put it back on with skewers to the side so I can do a nice arrangement around the front.
Wow. So any of us watching, if you have any question at all for Karen or about Scotland or about anything about floristry, do feel free to ask. And yes, that pumpkin that looks so big is almost like fake because we don't get any here. Any pumpkins that we buy have to be imported all the way from America or the UK.
Really?
So we're importing a pumpkin. So there you go.
You can actually, over here, you can actually go to pumpkin fields round about Halloween and the kids can pick their own pumpkin for carving because they just grow. There's pumpkin farms, so that's quite, over the past few years, that's been quite a big thing going in. The kids are able to take a wee mini wheelbarrow and pick their own pumpkin. Quite sweet.
Wow. That's fantastic. So it must take a while to do. Do you keep the content or you just throw it away? Do you eat them or is it not edible?
Sorry?
The content of the pumpkin, is it edible or is it?
It is edible. You can make pumpkin soup. I'm not into that. No, it's in the bin. Scooped out and in the bin. But you can make pumpkin soup. And I remember when I was a little girl, we used to dry the pumpkin seeds and paint them with nail varnish and make necklaces with all the seeds when she'd roasted them. Bad mum, I haven't done that with my own kids, but I did do it when I was a little girl.
Okay, so here we can see a very glitzy pumpkin, what you are actually holding. Can you tell us more about that?
We're going to do lovely kind of autumnal colours, but with more kind of pinks and just a very feminine, floaty. Don't really know what it's going to look like, Solomon, until I start. So it's just going to be kind of floaty, nice ferns. I've got a few succulents. Something that people could create at home without much, without an awful lot of flower content, which is always good. And we would sell the foam and things for customers to come in. So yeah, we'll see how it transpires as we start to make.
Yeah, let's start, shall we?
Okay.
what kind of do you sell this? Do they are they products that you can buy?
Not really. This will be just for this demonstration piece, but no doubt once I've made it, if I pop a picture on Facebook later, somebody will want to order one for next week for Halloween. Before Halloween, sorry, should I say.
I see, I see, I see. That's
more just a kind of one for the demonstration today, just to show what can be done.
Oh, okay. So what colors are you going for?
I'll put some flowers up on the desk. I've got a lot of lovely rich colours here. And I might not use it all, but I've just pulled everything over. So I've got some. I'll bring this closer because this is lovely. This is called Picasso Eucalyptus. Can you see the colours?
Oh, it looks like it's speckled.
It's all different colours. It's all sprayed, and it's called Picasso. So it's lovely. Loads of different tones through it. It's lovely.
Wow, that's very Halloweeny.
Yes, and I've got some lovely cerise roses.
Oh, that's my favourite colour. I love.
Yeah. Oh, everything's very pink today. I've got some lovely pink Flamosa fern. Because I'm talking to you, Solomon, I know what your favourite. I'm using Cymbidium. Yay! Some Cymbidiums. I've got some really dark Hypericum.
Oh. Will it fit that much?
We'll see. I've just gathered loads of things. We'll see how it goes when a nice gerbera. And I've got some lovely amaranthus as well. So will I just start and see how we go?
Yeah. So you must have a rather interesting shop. You must show us around later on.
Yes, I can do that. You need to put me onto my phone instead of the computer. I'll just keep turning and turning back so you can see where I am.
Yeah.
Are you just going to chat to me while I'm footing in with this?
Yeah, sure. I already have a question. Like, I've got some students asking next to me, like, how do you prop the pumpkin lid up?
It's on skewers. I'll take it off and show you.
Oh, so you actually... Oh, so
it's just yeah, I took it off and it's just placed back in. Can you see the sticks?
Okay.
And then just place... And depending how you place it, will tell you what size your arrangement's going to be, because you need more foam. If you wanted just a small bit, obviously you wouldn't leave it up as much. You would close it over a wee bit.
Right.
I'm going to say a wee bit, quite a lot.
What do you put in it?
This is Sussex, which is a lovely evergreen. We get this from a grower in Ireland. It's really nice. It's kind of like a conifer, but it's kind of grey colour. Very pretty. So I'm going to just try and have a sort of cascading shape coming down this way. And as I say, like yourself, sometimes if you make something, Solomon, you don't really, or maybe you're completely different. I don't always know what it's going to look like until I'm done. Or do you always have everything exactly a plan?
It's always like a continuous creative process, right?
Yeah.
So tell us about your life being a florist. Have you always been a florist since you were a kid? Like you always into flowers or family members?
Yes, I am. At 14 years old, I got to that age like many kids do, that you want some extra money. I wanted a Saturday job. I wanted actually to get a job in the sweetie shop because that's where all the cool girls worked, but they never got back to me. The florist did, so started doing it at 14, and pretty much from then just fell in love with it. So I was just a wee junior, and I did floristry while I was still at school, and then I went on to university, and I got a degree in media. I worked in a newspaper for about a year and a half after I graduated, but while I was working in a newspaper, I still continued to help the flower shop at busy times and peaks, Mother's Day, Valentine's Day and Christmas sort of thing. And then after a few years in the newspaper, I realised I didn't like a desk job and I wanted back to it. So 18 years ago, in January past, I opened my own shop. And I can't believe it's 18 years. It's absolutely flown in.
How was it for you? Like, what was it a bit of leap of faith when you're opening your first shop, or were you like really got a real solid plan that like I'm gonna do it?
Well, the shop had been sort of a flower shop since I had been born. This shop, 1978, it was called the Garden Shop, but it was mainly plants and things. It was mainly somebody trying to come in. It was mainly plants. Well, we dropped flowers, so when we opened up, it was a lot of plants, but then we obviously transpired and we've just grown and grown and grown.
So you took over it. So you actually took it over.
Sorry.
You actually took the shop over.
Yes, we just. Sorry, I can't hear you that great. We just kind of systematically changed over from plants and started introducing more and more flowers. Because when I opened the shop, there was 8 flower shops in Kilmarnock.
I see. So are there lots of flower shops in Kilmarnock?
There was 8 when I opened. There's now only 3. There's a few people do it from home as well, though, but there's only 3 shops.
So it must be quite it's the environment changing,
Yeah,
like sometimes
definitely.
it's like having a retail shop and having a workshop from home, it's actually the change that we're facing, right?
Yes. Lots more interest in customers wanting to do things themselves, and for a while you, as a florist, I think you're kind of scared to show people how to do it because they'll maybe want to do it themselves and take trade away, but I just think that the way the world is at the moment, everybody likes crafty things and they like to get their hands into things. So if you can turn those customers into people who come in and buy, special gifts and things from you, but also they're buying into the whole DIY and they'll come to a florist for advice, and you're getting more customers rather than it doing any detriment to your business.
Oh, so actually it's very wise, rather than going against, like trying to fight supermarket or something like that,
Yeah.
actually you are actually being the people's person, right?
Yeah.
So like Karen, actually, if anybody is interested reading about Karen and how she opened the shop and how she developed her career as a florist, here's an article from the Good Florist Guide that you can actually have a look. And I'm
Yeah.
putting it into the discussion box here. So if anybody is interested in reading about Karen and how she developed from a shop and all the way to become the florist of the year in the UK, you can read all about it in this article by the florist.co.uk, right?
Yep.
Can you hear me? Can anybody hear me, or am I just speaking to myself? Is it okay?
Sorry, Solomon, I can't hear you all that grand.
Ah, can
I
you
can hear you,
me?
but it's because I'm in the shop. I couldn't. The shop's still working. The girls are still busy working around me. I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear wee bits.
So I guess, yeah. Please do continue.
Okay. So just starting to take shape now. I'm adding in some Formosa Ferrum. I'm going to put a bit at the back just to hide my workings here. You see it starting to take shape.
Okay, I got a question
Yes.
by Bonnie. How long can the pumpkin keep?
It depends, because the pumpkin, obviously it will go a bit mushy inside, but it's important not to put your water. I've carved it out really, really well. I've heard that you can, I've did this for quickness, but I've heard if you use like a varnish, paint the inside with varnish, it seals it a little bit. But how we've done it is I've just lined it with Oasis, but it will go over time. It should outlast your flowers though. It might just start to go a bit soft, and I wouldn't put it on your best table or your best surface. We put a plate or something under it just to be safe.
So probably like leaving it on top of a piece of plastic or something like that,
Even a bit of cellophane or a nice decorative plate or something that you had in it, and those colour schemes would be nice.
I guess probably it will last a lot longer, especially if it's in Scotland. Now it's only 6 degrees, and what we are now is actually 27. So
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Yeah. So like here it's very hot. I'm saying that we are like about 27 degrees Celsius in Hong Kong. So and it's
Well, it wouldn't
already
last as long with you. Yeah, it lasts longer here because we're cold.
yeah. So it's actually, like, but always having a pumpkin is always very autumnal and always reminds us of going abroad. So like
Lovely.
for us, a pumpkin is always like reminding us of like going anywhere
Yeah.
but staying in Hong Kong. So, but this year nobody's traveling, so everybody's staying where they are.
Yeah.
So,
Will you have a lot of
what?
pumpkins brought in? Is it kind of trendy there to decorate a pumpkin for Halloween? Do you do a lot for Halloween?
Yeah, we do have pumpkin workshops and stuff like that, and then we're using a lot of imported pumpkins, so it's a
Yeah.
lot more expensive. So, but still, we'll be doing some of those, just to remind us of days that we can spend abroad.
Yes. And I was telling you before we went live that you were saying that pumpkins are quite hard to come by. You have to get them imported. Over here, the kids can go to pumpkin farms and pick their own pumpkin for Halloween to carve. They go around with wee wheelbarrows and pick their own pumpkins. Very, very cute.
So
I might go this afternoon. I might take my kids this afternoon and go and pick some pumpkins now we're in the pumpkin mood.
So you mean like to pet a pumpkin?
Yeah, you go. It's a pumpkin farm, so you go and you can pick your own.
So it must be very heavy, though. Is it heavy?
Yeah. We'll pick a small one.
Yeah. So
I'm nearly there because I don't think I can get much more content in, but hopefully that just shows. I'm going to use just the tips of this Lysianthus because I brought Amaranthus in. Is the colours showing up okay on the screen?
Yeah, it looks lovely.
I brought the Amaranthus in, so I'm just going to use the tips of the Lysianthus. This is Black Pearl Lysianthus. So just a wee pop of the green would look fab. I've got quite a big bit of oasis in here, just so I can get plenty in.
Sorry, I'm going the wrong way. No, it's okay. We'll just get that close off just now. Oh, right, okay.
Flowers are local, or where are they from?
I'm going to come round because I have a customer in, so I can hear you. Sorry.
The flowers, are they local flowers or are they?
They're generally imported. Yeah, generally all imported.
Okay. So what's Scotland? Is the Brexit thing gonna happen, or is it gonna affect you? Would it affect you?
I'm going to be totally honest, Solomon, and say I've just buried my head in the sand with it, and what will be. I've not read up on it. I've not. I know through Florist magazine and Good Florist Guide and things we've had people discussing it and presentations given on it about plant passports and things like that. But I don't know. I'm just going to play it by ear and let happen what happens. There's nothing I can do about it. I can't change it, so I'm not going to worry too much about it until I've got to be totally honest.
Thanks again.
So I guess it's something that it's just down to the personal effort, in order to make things work, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's difficult when things are like completely beyond your control.
Absolutely, there's nothing I can do about it, so we'll just have to see how it transpires. Like, I don't think I'm going to put anything else in this. I'm going to hand this over to lovely Ashley to.
Okay, well, this looks fantastic, Karen, especially with this background of yours, I know that you've been telling me about this wall that is behind you.
Yeah.
That's a huge historical story about it.
Sorry, Ashley. Sorry, yeah, we've got walkie-talkies. The girls are talking to downstairs and upstairs. Yes, this wall's really, really special. A year and a half ago, or just over a year ago, we had two shops. Originally, I had a small shop at that side of the shop, and then we bought this side of the shop, and one side was a barber's. And last August, we got the wall down, and we had a full new refit, which I absolutely love my shop. And we found this beautiful treasure behind some cladding. and the wall was built in 1710. So it's, if you know any Scottish heritage or Scottish history, Rabbie Burns, this wall is older than the poet Rabbie Burns. It's beautiful. It's a great feature. So I've got a flower stand in front of it at the moment, but generally the flowers are over here. And I've got some scaffolding and old railway sleepers as shelves, and it's filled with plants and succulents and orchids, and very proud of the wall. So there was no way we were covering it up again.
Wow, that's always like a fantastic and very rare chance to be able to like working in such a historical.
Yeah, I mean the building's very, very old. Outside our back window is right on the river. So it's literally our building goes right down into the river. So we've got a basement level, we've got the shop up the stairs, and we've got the same again downstairs, right on the riverbed. It's concrete floors, it's really cold, it's fantastic for flowers. So even though we're in Scotland and it's only 6 degrees today, even in the summer, if it's really hot, we don't have fridges. I know a lot of florists will use refrigerators. We don't use that. We just keep anything that's a bit softer downstairs because the concrete floor keeps it really cool.
Wow, that's a very organic and natural way of refrigerating and keeping flowers fresh. Yeah. So can you just go through with us, all the Echeveria that you've put in your arrangement? All the stuff?
Yeah, I've put a couple of lovely Echeveria here, one here and one here. I have put in some, I'll pop that one out just so I can show you, so I don't know if you can see it very well.
Yeah. Any questions to ask anybody? Oh, this is the great Cresspedia.
Cresspedia. So I sprayed it rose gold last night with cerise glitter on top just to give it a lovely... It looks as if that grass is coming out the top of that. It's not part of the design. It looks nice. Looks like it's got a haircut.
It got exploded yet.
So just lots of lovely, not particularly Halloweeny orange and blacks and purples, but it's a nice different toning for Halloween and what you can do with a pumpkin.
It's actually very elegant, and it's actually very girly.
Yes, and I'm not really very girly, but everything I've chosen is quite girly today. So I'm generally very much, you see, really bright, classy colours. I like limes and cerise and orange and yellow, and I'm very much like my logo. We like classy colours, but this, I suppose, it's a little bit more subtle and delicate, like me.
Of course. And so now everybody, if you have any question at all for Karen, she's amazingly helpful. And if anybody of you have any problems at all, any questions about flowers and how to keep flowers, even with business, Karen's always happy to answer any of your questions. And there will be a rerun of this live, and I'm sure like a lot of people will be catching up later on as well. Yeah. So would you like to show us your job? We are really excited now that we know that.
I have to walk around with a laptop to show you.
Yeah. Is that okay?
Take the charger off. And I'll try and go a little wander with you. All the staff are going to hide. So this is where I'm working just now. Here is the wall. And we're in a guddle, guys, because we're a busy Friday morning. This is the sofa there that I'm working behind at the moment, which normally we take with brides to consult.
Okay.
So there's the wall there. You can see.
Okay.
You can see the wall. We're turning around here. This is the flower stand, which is already taking a beating this morning because the girls are busy making up.
So you've got lots of flowers already.
Yeah, we've got an island in the middle, so we can walk right round.
Wow.
And obviously we're working behind screens at the moment. There's lovely Ashley.
Hello.
Hello, Ashley.
Hello.
We do. Where are we? Trying to see. We've got nice candles and gifts and bath bombs, chocolates. We've kind of stopped doing helium balloons at the moment because we're trying to go a bit more eco-friendly. This is needing some plants. This little bit here's a bit empty looking and sad. Just been really busy. Do you want to go downstairs and see the girls downstairs?
If that's possible, yes. We'd like to have a nosy.
Oh, you like a nosy? Okay. Here we go.
Okay.
It's not quite as nice. It's not quite as nice down here.
We're going down. Careful, Carol.
There's Claire.
Hi.
Hi, how are you? So what are we doing here?
This is us in one of the workrooms with all our sundries. There's someone a funeral piece, which is a saltire on a heart, Scottish flag.
Oh wow! Is it sprayed, Mum?
So all chrysanthemums. Claire's going to turn it around and let you see. We do a lot of work. We do a lot of bespoke work. So that's a saltire heart that Ashley made yesterday. We've got flowers
Do
down
you
here.
spray them, or are they cut in blue?
No, we spray them.
Ah, so you just put 2 pieces of masking tape, or what?
Yeah, they do the blues first, and then they'll fill in with the white, and they'll cut them really sharp with not with floristry scissors, generally like with ribbon scissors, so it's got a really nice sharp edge. And there's pumpkins. You've got those pumpkins, Solomon, I believe.
Oh yeah, I got those plastic pumpkins as well. Yeah.
Claire's making get my hair in the corner. Claire's making a casket spray. I don't know if the colours look great on your screen, but it's lovely and bright. And then through the other side, this is my office in there. And then through this side, we've got another workroom. So
Is that the
this is down. This is us right against the water. This is Rhiannon. Rhiannon's our apprentice. So they're just working away. This is where the overspill of the flowers are. So all the flowers are down here. It's not aesthetically as pleasing, but it works, and we just top up the flowers from down here when we need them back up the stairs.
Is it very cold down there?
It's freezing and really, really cold in the winter, yeah. But we're wrapped up. We're hardcore. We're used to it. We've always got lots and lots of layers. It's funny. It comes to the summertime and people always say, "Have you lost weight, Karen?" No, I've just taken about 5 layers off.
I see. So is it right there looking out from the window? Is actually the river?
Right down the back. I would have to actually open the window and top the laptop out for you to see, so I don't want to drop it down.
We don't want to be dropped in the river, thank you. We can't. Okay. So now back to where we met. Actually, I actually met Karen in the lovely Leeds Castle Flower Festival. Oh, have I met you earlier on? Have I met you in Chelsea?
No, I think that was the first time because I remember being totally in awe.
Oh, in Leeds Castle.
Leeds Castle was then, which I think not last year, the year before, 2017. 2018 was the first year that I was there, and I remember being totally in awe of you, Solomon.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It was actually quite a fantastic experience in Leeds Castle because everybody was so friendly.
Yeah.
It's almost like a family. That is probably the only one of the best, actually.
Absolutely. It's lovely, isn't it? It's just the atmosphere and everyone's coming into each other's rooms to see how you're getting on. Do you need to borrow anything? Or it's just lovely. The talent's just amazing. I'm blown away every time I've went. Really disappointed we're not getting to go this year.
I know, it's absolutely gutted. So where I met Karen, and I also met Morgan.
Yeah, I came as part of Morgan. The first year I came as part of the Good Florist Guide team, and that's the first time I met Morgan as well.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I hadn't met Morgan before then, so that was lovely, and it just was a lovely relationship to meet all the guys, and I've forged some really amazing friendships with people, all because of that. So it's really has a special place, Leeds Castle.
Yeah, it is. And it's only when I was in Leeds Castle that I've actually learned about the Good Florist Guide.
Yes.
Would you talk us through that?
Yeah, the Good Florist Guide. You are a honorary member. I had the pleasure of giving you your certificate, remember, last year?
Yes. I am an ambassador, I think.
Yeah. So a Good Florist Guide is like the only accredited guide for, like the Good Pub Guide, but it's for florists. So there's criteria that you have to meet, and it's just like a family. It's lovely. Everyone is so nice. It's opened lots of doors for me and given me lots of amazing opportunities. They're constantly trying to get more and more people involved and get new members. But because obviously it's called the Good Florist Guide, there has to be criteria there. That you've got to pass a certain level. You've got to have certain things in place to become a member, but it's very, very special to me.
Yeah, and talking about the Good Florist Guide, of course, we need to talk about the British Florist Association as well,
Yeah.
where our wonderful Karen Lindsay and just her shop has won the Florist of the Year.
Yeah, well, I don't know how long I can retain my title because it might be somebody else. Very good chance it could be somebody else next weekend because you've just caught me while I am still UK Retail Florist of the Year. Next week I might not be. Good timing. So we won that last year.
Yeah, it was actually quite an honor because I had the honor to be in the show as well, being one of the demonstrators there.
Yes.
I actually met Karen again, and that's the first time I actually got into like the real industry of the UK floristry, and actually have an insight into what's actually going on in the UK floristry business.
Yes.
It was quite inspiring as well.
Yeah.
Would you tell us more about the BFA and do everybody need to register with the BFA?
Yeah, you've got to be a member. I don't really think why you wouldn't want to be a member. It's excellent. It's just like your body for florists in the UK. Lots of information comes out about Brexit. Just information about the industry in general. There's a lot of perks. You can get money deals for your insurance and things through it. So there's lots of good perks to it, and it's like a family as well. But I don't understand why people wouldn't be a part of it. You're just getting free information and lots of handy, useful tips as well through that. And obviously they do the British Floristry Association Awards yearly as well.
Okay, so if anybody is interested in opening a new shop, if you are in the UK, you can always go to look it up, British Florist Association, as well as the Good Florist Guide. Good Florist Guide as well as the British Florist Association is the two kind of key association that you need to go to if you are planning to open a shop or maybe you're having a business in the UK.
There's lots of really good advice from both.
That's fantastic. So now if we move on, you have prepared another piece for us, haven't you?
Yes, would you like me to do what we like for time? I've got two. I can either do like a sort of boho, large bouquet in pinks, or do you want to go autumnal and rich oranges? You can choose because depending on time.
No, we go for whatever you choose. Shall we go for all the bold and all Karen?
We'll go the autumn one. So if I go quiet and I look as if I can't hear you, I will just carry on with the demonstration. So we've got customers coming in the shop now. So if I don't answer I can't hear you. You can just keep reading the comments and I'll try and hear you. This is a very traditional bouquet that we would sell.
So Joe, if anybody is interested in having a closer look at Karen's drawing, there will be some pictures of her work, then we'll be posting things on our Facebook. If anybody is interested in seeing the pumpkin in details, then the one that she's doing now, Karen will be posting some pictures.
We've got lots of customers in just now, so I'm just you can chat away because I can't hear you, so I'll just make, is that all right?
Yeah, that's okay. Perfect. I will shout to get your attention.
Yeah, I'll be watching you. I just can't really hear you.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess probably what Karen is doing is yeah. Pumpkin on Sticks actually is very popular now because I've got loads of very, very good job. that Karen has.
Thank you very much.
I actually wonder if anybody can tell me or whether those glass shields that are shielding the florist away from the customers, are they does the government need to do that, or is it part of the health and safety rule that you need to do that? You know, the shield. So if anybody can provide me with an answer, that would be most enlightening.
Bye, darling.
Work, you know, when it comes to flower shop.
We've got some customers have left.
You don't need to be very quick. You've got plenty of time.
I'll try and slow down because it's just because this is one that I would do. I'll tell you what I've got in it now. Now I can hear you for a minute. So I started off with an orange Asiatic lily. We've got some pumpkins here, lovely orange roses. I have some ornithogalum, one of my favourites. I love it. I've got some blue sea holly or eryngium thistles. We use tons of, because it's thistle, we use tons and tons of that every single day. We have a Scottish collection called, one of them is the Caledonia, which is all purples and whites. Look, if you think of the Saltire flag, so that's one of our most popular ranges that we do. So yeah, just a really nice mix. A nice orange rose. This is quite a big style bouquet. Nice Setaria to soften it. Nice and autumny as well. We've been a harvest time, you would think.
Is this for sale?
This is actually, I'm multitasking. This is going out for an order this afternoon.
Ah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, because the girls are under pressure with orders, so I said if I'm doing a demonstration, I may as well do something that we can use for an order.
Yeah, why not? And what about the pricing that you're doing? Say, people might be interested in saying, like, you know, how much would the bouquet like this would cost? Like,
When this one's done, when this one will be finished, it will be about 70. But generally, our price bracket here in Scotland, your average order value is about £40.
£40 for such a large bunch?
No, it would be smaller. But 40 is about the average spend would be about £40. This one will be about 70 once I've finished it.
Ah, okay. So, do you do this type of work rather than like the smaller type of work that people can buy in supermarket to differentiate your?
We don't do anything. We've got bunches of spray carnations and bunches of 5 stems of chrysanthemums. That's as little as we would do. Because you do have some customers who don't want to buy from the supermarket, want to buy from us, but aren't looking to spend a lot of money. We do a lot of maybe a wee a jam jar with some loose stems that we've, you know, that maybe have broken, half the stems broken, that we can use up. So we do things like that, especially for teacher gifts when the schools are finishing. We would cater for every budget, but generally it's like the hand-tied bouquets and things that would be most popular.
Because it lasts longer and can be put at home.
Yeah, and it's all arranged and it's done, and they don't really have to do much with it. We use lots of hand ties. That's still a thing. I would like to try and get away from hand ties a bit. It seems to be still very, very popular, and people still think it's modern. But I would much rather work with foam or you know, create. We've started doing a new range, which we've started to call it the boho bouquet, which is eco-friendly wrapping. So it's wrapped and tied in twine, and it's in biodegradable paper and tissue. There's no cellophane near it. That's becoming more and more popular as well. And rather than it being in a bubble of water, it's just big, grand, and the stems are left. Like the ones that they're all over Instagram at the moment, you know, the great big loose free-flowing, lots of pampas. And they look great against my wall. So any products, always, I do manage to get really good photographs because the wall's fabulous.
Anything will look great against that wall.
Yeah, it is. We're very, very lucky. Because I think a lot of times for retail floristry, it's very difficult for people to get good images to show what they can do. Or they're too busy. You just have to sometimes just stop and say, we need to take an image of that bouquet because it's going to, you know, you need to keep your social media. We've got a very, very active following in social media. Customers really buy into what we're saying and what we're doing.
So how do you strike a balance between like real business, everyday business, and the persona online?
Online, our website's fabulous. Our website churns out orders all day long, so we're kept busy with that. Social media, I just make sure I post every day. Generally, it's just in between working or it's when I get home. Tea time's a good time for us to post because everyone's home from work. We get best engagement just after dinner time, about 6 o'clock.
So what's a daily life like? You know, what do you get up really early?
No,
or do you work 24/7?
everything gets bought in for us. We get a delivery every single day. We don't start till 9. We work as soon as we've got the same day's finished. We work ahead and start on the next day's orders. But it never ever works out that you're done because the order's still coming in same day. So we're always under pressure to get it done. But my normal day would be up, get the kids their breakfast, get everybody off to school, and then just pop in. And I would generally work till school time because I've got to be home at 3. So I try and squeeze. The hardest thing for me is finding time to do paperwork, Solomon. I'm sure you'll be the same, and every florist will say the same. It's a wonderful job if all you had to do was this bit, but it's the paperwork bit it's the killer.
Yeah. Because there's so much work that you don't actually see when you're in a job.
Yeah, definitely. So I went for, this is going to be part of our autumn range. This is a beautiful grey and orange cellophane. We've chosen a lovely burgundy tissue inside. I don't know how you wrap your bouquet, so this is how we would wrap ours.
Okay. Would you consider this a typical style in the UK that people?
Yes, very much so.
Okay.
So we would just call this a hand-tied bouquet in water or an aqua pack. So it'll have the bubble of water in the bottom. It's quite a nice gift. It's easy to deliver as well.
We've got a question from Beverly.
Pardon?
We've got a question from Beverly.
Okay.
We've got a question. Do you have your flowers delivered, or you need to collect them from the wholesaler?
No, they're all delivered. I did used to go to the wholesalers when I first started myself because I like to go up and choose particular things. But because the way the business has grown, I know exactly what I need because we have designed collections. So there's the Caledonia hand tie, or there's the autumn range. So I know what flowers we need. I would just spend more money if I went up because I would see other things that I needed that I liked but didn't need. And also, exactly. I've now got 5 children, so I can't physically do that. But I did used to.
Okay, that's a very, very direct answer. No, she doesn't go to the wholesaler to buy the flowers herself. So I do that too, you know, because actually what we're doing is like we are ordering direct from Holland all the way to Holland within 48 hours. So whatever we're buying on Monday morning, we have it delivered right outside my door on Wednesday morning. So actually, there is not much time left. So if I want to get the pumpkin that you're having, I'll be getting exactly the same thing as you do. So it's actually quite strange in a way that everybody's in the world actually using less the same material. So
absolutely, and it's although sometimes you think you don't have as much choice as you would like. Especially now, a lot of the customers coming in this morning, especially now when the foot falls down and it's all over the phone or online, we need to have the flowers that we're selling blind. So they're buying them online, they're not coming in to choose from the stand any longer. So we get our delivery in, it goes straight down the stairs, conditioned, put down there, and it gets replenished upstairs when we need it up.
Wow. So it seems like this virus thing has helped the business rather than affecting the business.
Yeah.
Actually,
definitely has. We're busy just now, but you just don't know what's around the corner. So we're obviously just trying to take each day as it comes. There's lots of weddings that we don't have that have been postponed or fortunately we've not had any that's been cancelled. We've had a lot postponed to 2020. In fact, some brides have changed to 2020 and then have now come back and changed to 2022 because they're still a bit scared of, is it going to happen again? Or so they've just postponed for later. And we do have some brides who have said, do you know what? I don't care how many people's there. If 20 people are allowed to come, still want to do it. But those weddings we still have, but they're smaller than they would have been money-wise. You know, they're not spending all the table arrangements they're doing. So that's been a big hit for the events industry in the UK has really been hit, because we're down to, I think, 20 people at an event. Or for weddings only, actually, because we're not really allowed to be doing very much at all just now. It's not quite a lockdown, but it's nearly. All the bars and restaurants are all closed for 2 weeks over the October holiday when the kids are off. So we're just taking it a day at a time. We're just having to listen to what the government's telling us and just evolve and change every day.
What about the restaurants? Are they still open for people to go? Restaurants and...
No, we're not allowed to go.
Not allowed to go, not even for lunch or anything?
Nothing. Lunch is fine. In fact, cafes are okay, but they've got to close at 6. But anyway, with an alcohol licence is closed at the moment completely.
It's a similar situation here, but we have a 4 people ban, like anything, any group bigger than 4 people is not allowed.
Groups of people, but even in the shop, we've got hand sanitizer on the door, so the customers have got to use hand sanitizer as they come in. Ashley, can I borrow you for a second? We've got masks that we have to wear as soon as a customer comes in. I'm in the corner here talking to you, so it doesn't matter, but Ashley will showcase our snoods, Flowers by Karen snood that we wear when a customer comes in. You see the logo? And there's our driver. He's wearing his, just about to get and do deliveries. Okay. So we're wearing these round, and we found them better than masks, because you were forever forgetting to put your mask on or sitting it down. So these are just round our necks, like wee scarves, and when a customer comes in, we just pop it up, and they're all branded as well, so it's all good, looks good. We make the customers have got to wear a mask when they're coming in as well, and we're not allowing anybody to touch anything.
What about the plastic shields that you have in front of your work desk?
Yeah, we've got in front of the girls for serving. So do the government provide those, or do you need to get those yourself? No. When we were in actual lockdown, some businesses, some florists closed for a period of time. We were working right from Mother's Day right through. For the first 6 weeks, I put all the staff on, I don't know how it is in where you are, but we had staff on furlough. Did you hear about that? So they were still getting paid by the government, but they had to stay at home. Yeah, well, everyone was on furlough, and I closed for a day. The Monday after, we were the British florist industry was so lucky to have got Mother's Day done and dusted, because it happened the very next day. It happened on the Monday. We were closed down. It could have happened on the Friday, and it would have been horrendous. So we were very lucky, and it also gave us that cushion that we'd had a really busy peak to maybe sustain us for a bit longer. So yeah, we put the staff on furlough, and I continued to work. Although I took one day off and said we were shut because we were forced to close, but I put the shop phone on divert to my mobile, and I was at home with the kids, because the kids were off of school as well. Everything was closed. But I was breaking my heart, because the phone just kept ringing, and it was, I didn't feel so bad telling people they couldn't get birthday flowers or they couldn't have anniversary flowers, but it was funeral work. People were devastated they couldn't get flowers for their loved one, and they were only allowed 10 people at a funeral. So we had some flowers left from Mother's Day. It was stuff I would normally just take out and leave about the town if it was leftover things. So I managed to do, for a few days, I started to take funeral work. Then I started to promote that I was doing funeral work, and the flow of flowers got a bit easier, and I was able to buy in. So for the first 6 weeks, I was on my own, really busy with just funeral work, while my husband had to stay at home with the kids and try and work from home, because he's still working, but he had to work on his laptop from home with the kids. Not easy. And then I just, a wee light bulb came on and said, Karen, people are supposed to be in furlough because there's no work for them, but the work is here. So we just brought people back systematically, and we put procedures in place where we're washing our hands regularly, we're social distancing from ourselves, from each other, and we just systematically brought people back. But it has been a a big thing with
That's
no
very
bedroom.
cool, you know, like what you do actually, you know, you take a lot of courage and systematic thinking, you know, in order to get
Yeah.
the whole thing back in gear.
Yeah, because you
Yeah.
don't know where they
So,
are. And then we did a lot of things where, like this, we were talking earlier on, and I'm saying, well, I do live demonstrations and things, not on a platform, but generally just for my own customers, if we're doing a special offer, and that worked really well because we weren't getting footfall coming in the shop. So for the first wee while, we just did it that way. And then we started to open one of the doors, but we put, fruit crates, the kind of old-fashioned crates. We made like a stable door, so they were able to come and shop, but they couldn't come in. And we just, we just developed and found a new way of working.
oh, that's fantastic. Actually, you know, like when situations gets a bit difficult, you know, that's when those creative like thoughts that comes up.
Yeah, you just have to do, and I know that a lot of the girls were scared to come back because they'd been off for that period of time, and everybody was terrified. You're thinking if a customer comes in and what for this, and we were all kind of scared of each other to start with as well. And we were all going, but I think we nailed it. We've done fine, and we're busy and we're kept going. But as I say, it's just really taking each day as it comes.
And I guess probably it always helps when you're in the UK where all the festivals are on the wrong dates. So, because we
Yeah.
don't celebrate Mother's Day on March,
You may.
we do May, and
May.
Halloween is the last.
Sorry, we're just going to close the door again because there's a lot of traffic going past.
Ah, okay. So are you going to show us one more before we finish?
Yeah. Well, I don't need to put this in a hand tie and a bubble of water for you, do I? Do you want me to finish it off?
We know what's the bubble like.
You know what it's going to look like when it's done in a bubble of water, so that's another one.
Another one.
That's that one for that, Ashley.
We've got lots of people from Asia, from Japan watching, all saying hi to you.
Hi everybody.
Yeah. So if anybody's interested, the article about Karen is here. Let me post it again in the chat group. It's by the florist.co.uk, and here is the article. It's a link to the article.
Claire, could you ask Karen to just put it for me?
So are we doing the boho bouquet?
Yeah, just kind of loose, free, how you like it. It's becoming more and more popular.
Yeah, the Instagram bouquet.
Yeah, that's kind of an Instagram bouquet, yeah. And I don't know what it's going to look like, so you'll have to bear with me.
It's always a nice surprise, like watching Karen work.
I've got some gorgeous steer grass in at the moment, which is absolutely stunning. So we're going to put that up the back. It's fresh steer grass. And then it's just really free and floaty and just whatever fits, which is good because sometimes you get so caught up in everything being perfect, like I found that the past 2 years we've had a lot of this sort of style for wedding bouquets. Obviously not this size, but loads of foliage and loose. And for years when you're used to doing a perfect ball of roses or orchids, it's difficult to let yourself be free. And you think, oh, it doesn't look right because that's sticking out there, but that's kind of the purpose of it. So it's quite hard to get used to it.
Just let yourself go.
Yeah, because I think sometimes you're your own worst critic and think that doesn't look what I think it will look like, but when you see there's nothing better than getting a professional photograph back from a bride and she's holding the book. It looks a lot different from me holding it down the stairs when she's holding it with her dress and out in the lovely countryside.
I think probably the key to that look is that flowy and airiness, right?
Just and loads and loads and loads of foliage. Tons of foliage. That's what.
Tons of foliage is the key to the.
Yeah, lots and lots of foliage.
That you just put in. What is that you just put in? Is it a
Ami? Yes.
Okay. Well, I didn't know that you can get Ami this time of year.
It's lovely. It's really strong.
Yeah, it's almost like a seed ahead of it. It's almost...
Yeah, I love it. I love Snapdragon or Antirrhinum. It's one of my favourites. It's quite a soft flower. I don't know if that's typically more a British flower you can get. There's a lot of lovely British flowers we can get. I know you were talking to Helen Chambers on one of your lives.
Does it apply to Scotland too? Can you buy British flowers in Scotland?
Yes, but not as easily as it should be. It's harder than you think to get them here. I think the supply chain's opening up, and I know Helen's working really hard to do that and make that better. It's becoming a lot easier this past year.
So where is the wholesaler that you're coming from? Do you just order direct from Holland?
I use lots of different ones, Solomon. I've always believed that not to have all your eggs in one basket. So I buy a lot on platforms, and they can get brought over from Holland, and I buy from local wholesalers as well because we are so busy as well, and we need flowers every day. The local suppliers, the Glasgow guys are absolutely fantastic because I need something next day, or if I need something, I forgot to order that, they'll just come down with it. So I couldn't do it all online. It would be impossible.
Yeah, it's always nice to have a collection of flowers.
Yeah, I'm going to just keep making. I'll talk you through because I've got another customer in, so I can't really hear. So I'm just. Can you see it starting to take shape now?
That you've done.
You've not personally ordered yourself.
Some lovely aqua roses coming through. As I said, I'm not really a very pink person at all, but oh, that was a lovely one. I loved that. That's cappuccino roses in that bouquet.
Galla.
Yeah. So it's the same sort of form, just really loose. That one's wrapped in just craft paper, so this would be part of our eco-friendly range, which the customers are now really starting to buy into. That was one of our most popular Mother's Day bouquets. It was a vibrant gift box. So it comes in a water-lined box, dead easy to deliver. The box can be, sort of used as a vase. They don't really have to take it out and put it into a vase. So it's sold really, really well. I think just the bright pops of colour on it.
Gall@hotmail.com.
And that's one current one from our autumn collection that we call the Firecracker. So that's basically just created in a Castillo box or a transporter box with cellophane inside and a full block of foam. And we went for a lovely front facing style with it. So it's all arranged in foam.
Wow, it's almost done. You're very quick.
It's because of retail. The customer's usually waiting, so I'm very quick.
So this is for sale as well?
Pardon?
This bouquet is for sale as well?
This will be for sale. I'll pop this on my Facebook page in a wee while.
Now, do you mind taking a picture of all your demonstration for us? Can you take a picture of what you've demonstrated for us today?
I need to come over. Sorry.
Yes, sorry. Like people would like to see what you've done.
Yes, I'll post pictures of them.
And then you can send it to us and we'll show it.
I will.
I think it's always interesting to sort of travel far and wide around the world to see all the florists in the world, all the way from Scotland, like different flower shops, rather than our local flower shops. But it's always wonderful, absolutely stunning. So, how would you describe what you're doing?
I'm just going to tie it off. I'm going to show you my wrapping. Wrapping sometimes makes it. So rather than cutting all the stems like I would with a hand tie, I'm going to leave the stems quite long because the purpose of this is a big bouquet for a big vase. It looks the value because you've got long stems. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it next, but I need to come closer.
Whoa.
loads of free, floaty. It's quite good. There's no form to it really. It's good to use up. You know what it's like if you've had a busy day. There's one of this and two of that, or left in your stand. So it's good to be able to just use rather than it being threes and very uniform. It's nice to just be a bit free, but loads and loads of foliage is the key.
Foliage is the key.
Oh, and I forgot the two special ones again. This was just for you. Some beautiful vandas.
Ah, that's actually absolutely gorgeous.
So you can put the cards out now.
The vandas are just on the tubes.
Wow, that's fantastic. It's a series, is it?
Yes, it is.
Well, the morning or afternoon,
So you're at 10 o'clock in the morning and 2 o'clock.
So that wee bit, cerise just pops here as well.
you did it to the family.
Right, when I sort my wrapping, I'll show you my wrapping.
I know, but okay, that's great. Thank you.
No, it's in because we're doing a film and
Okay, thank you again. Right, cheers, bye.
Bye.
Right, so for my wrapping, this is our eco paper.
Eco paper. What's the difference between paper and eco paper?
But well, just it's waxed a bit, so we wouldn't use it in the bottom of a hand tie, where you were putting your water in, but it's waterproof, so it can withstand some wetness from your stems, which is really good, and it's all branded. So this is relatively new to us, the branded stuff. So I'm just going to fold that across, and I've got two, the same size.
It's always wonderful to see florists working. It feels so kind of therapeutic just watching you work.
Watching someone else do it. I'm always very intrigued into how other people wrap. I like to watch how other people wrap things. Because wrapping's quite a big thing at the moment as well, especially when it's all eco paper. You still want it to look pretty because you get such beautiful cellophanes and different colours that you don't want it to be too bland if it's going to be in a brown. I do like it with brown paper, your craft paper. Yeah, especially that one with the cappuccino roses. It looked lovely with the craft paper.
Is this tissue paper? Is this colour fast?
That's just the cerise. Yep, cerise tissue paper, so that I've got the white and the cerise. And then I'm just going to place my bouquet. You see here, it's just shaped like I'm just going to place my bouquet right where my tie-in point is, right here. I'm going to pull in. You see the wee pop of cerise coming through as well.
Yeah.
And your teeth come in handy. Okay, and then just for the end, we do similar again. I'm going to make it small. I'm going to make this fold smaller. Came across, so I've got 4 peaks. So I've got 4 peaks there.
Yeah. Do you usually do the wrapping yourself, or do you have other people to do the wrapping for you?
No, we take an order, and I take an order, and I complete it from start to finish. We all do. We work as a team, so we all work to order lines, and we just see the order through. We don't have somebody who does the wrapping, or we just take that order and we complete it.
Okay. Because everybody works differently, because there are other shops that are like, you're especially responsible for wrapping.
Yeah, really. I would quite like that job, I think.
To try it. So this one
So
is
I'll just
completely
place the one in the front. You can see the one in the front was shorter, and the reason I've done it shorter is so that you can see the bouquet in its entirety down here. If I had folded it large, you're missing this whole point.
Yeah.
So I would just do it just like that. I would have a lovely big blousey Hessian bow rather than any sort of ribbon with trails, and that would be what I'm classing at the moment as our bohemian or boho bouquet.
Wow. Anybody who received that must be really loved.
They're lovely, aren't they? It's not millions of flowers in it, but because it's free and because you can play with space a bit, it looks quite luxurious.
It looks huge. It looks humongous. Wow. So that kind of like brings us to the end of our Life at 5.
That's
Thank you
been
so much.
fast.
Yeah, it's actually 1 hour to be exact, and you finished like a tour of your shop and 3 arrangement, pumpkin, 2 huge bouquets and everything. Thank you so much, Karen.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for inviting me. I was really delighted to be asked.
Yeah, we really should do it again. So have a
Anytime.
very nice Halloween coming next weekend.
Thank you,
And,
you too.
Yeah, wishing you all the best for.
You need to
the
get a
coming
pumpkin,
Christmas
Solomon.
and
You need to
New Year.
do something in a pumpkin challenge.
Yeah, I'll send my pumpkin to you. I'll do a small one. All right. Thank you so much. Bye
Take care.
bye.
Bye.
Bye bye. Okay, so if anybody is interested to see more of our Life at 5 next week, we're going to have another very special guest. And then just to let you know that next month we'll bring you to Israel. Israel in November, we're bringing you to Israel. So we'll be traveling all around the world with Life at 5 at Solomon Blumen. So until then, or until next week, thank you very much. This is Solomon here, and we'll see you again next week's Life at 5. Bye bye.